Big noodle energy. Big noodle energy. Hello everyone, my name is GriimYT and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys. And today I'm going to be reviewing the new album from Spag Heddy released on Tomato Base, The Noodle Effect. And ladies and gentlemen, we have here the debut album from Spag Heddy, one of my first producers that I actually listened to back in 2021 when I was still new to bass music. He was one of the first three producers that I really listened to, and ever since then I've been a big fan of him. I think the last song I remember him releasing was Prego on Never Say Die. And then I think he did a few before that I knew. Bomb I listened to, and Zoom. So yeah, I've been a big fan of him for a while, and when I heard he was releasing an album last year, I was really excited, but for reasons that obviously we don't really know, the album didn't come through. Maybe he was still working on a few songs. There's a bunch of collabs on here, so maybe there's maybe there's some delays there. So, but we have the album now, a year later, and yeah, I'm going to dive through it all, and so without further ado, let's begin. So right off the bat, when Spag Heddy released the track list on his Instagram, I think on Twitter too, I was looking through it, and I was glad to see that there wasn't very many collabs. And that's because obviously I feel like artists that are very much carried by collabs slander, they have a lot of a reputation of not really being good on their own. However, Spag Heddy has always been one that's made his own stuff. I mean, some of his Never Say Die discography, like the Gospel EP, the Armageddon EP, which is my favorite from him. Some of the songs he did on the Never Say Die compilation albums, really great stuff. So when I saw there wasn't that many collabs, I was excited, especially with other producers. The only two collabs with other producers are the one with Company and the one with Hero Bust. So very cool that a lot of these are his own songs, and I gotta say, I think that paid off. I'm gonna go through each song and give a little bit about each of them, and then overall what I think of the whole thing. So yeah, let's start with the first song, which is a little intro to the album, Noodle Effect, which is really cool to hear, because the fact that he actually has a full album is really cool. And yeah, then we get into the first song, which is Bangski. Really cool. This one I knew was going to be cool because it has that he has this kind of flavor to his songs and this bounce to his songs that is really cool. A lot of producers have kind of the same cookie cutter template, but his songs have this weirdness to them that works. So Bangski, very, very cool. Vertigo is one of the melodic songs on here. Not a big fan of a lot of the melodic songs. I'm going to get right out of there. A lot of the melodic songs, I think the album works better on the heavier stuff, and that's not because I don't think the melodic songs are good. I think they're just a bit plain. There is ways to make cool melodic songs, but I feel like a lot of these here are kind of one note and very basic, like Vertigo and Voices, and the one with Shooting Stars, the one with Crook Bangs. I don't know, there's just a few on here that I thought were just a little plain in the idea department, but that maybe is just because I'm not the biggest melodic fan, but there are some really great ways to do it. So, but yeah, this one was alright, Vertigo. The Rhythm the Rebel was very, very cool. I really enjoyed that one as well. I think that one's pretty fun. The vocal sample is very unique, which is why the song name is very unique too. So, and then like I said, with the melodic songs, Voices, another one, pretty good, but nothing really mind-blowing. Feel Good too, which is cool as well. I like Feel Good. It's like a melodic song kind of, but without vocals. It's pretty good. I like that one. Of course, Hammer Time with Company. This, I will say, is probably my favorite song in the album, and that's because I remember hearing it as an ID from his Lost Land set 2.5 years ago, and I thought it was super sick, especially because I loved Company back then too. So when I heard they had an ID together, I was really excited, and of course it didn't come out until now when it's finally here. It definitely sounds different than what he showed at Lost Lands, but I think it's for the better. I like the vocal there. The drop is insanely heavy. I mean, it's Company and Spag Heddy, so of course it's going to be heavy. But I like the switch at the end, the drum and bass switch. That also wasn't in the ID, so that's very cool as well. Something unique and different. I think that one really works the best. Continuing on here, we have Never Thought with Mika Martin, which also came out before the album. I didn't mention that, by the way. Hammer Time came out before the album. It was one of the singles. Mika Martin's collab with Spag Heddy, Never Thought, also was one of the singles. This one's pretty good too. Mika Martin is a great vocalist. That's just why I think it works so well. He's just a great vocalist, incredible voice. So I think the collab works very well. Shooting Stars, like I said, pretty fun, cool little melodic cut, but definitely nothing really mind-blowing, And we have Point Up, which is another bass house tune. I mean, Spag Heddy bass house tunes are always great. I love Prego, so anything bass house from him is going to be good, and I think that one works pretty well. Like the vocal in it, very fun. It's not like a heavy bass house tune, it's more like a fun one. I think it's really cool. Royal Mob, definitely the most unique song in the album, I think, and I think it's for those people that love those weird, like, intricate sound design, kind of like crazy songs that are all over the place. I think it's all right. You know, definitely like this kind of idea could work, but I think this one is a little bit like it doesn't really sound as good. But I do think the idea is very, very cool. Choices is a color-based tune. I'm not a big color-based fan. I think it's kind of like, you know, basic as like a genre. I know a lot of people love it, so I know that's going to please a lot of people, but for me it was all right. The next song though I loved, and that's Fragga with Hero Bust. Never really listened to Hero Bust. He had a song actually, what was it, Crush Mode. That song was really sick. I think it came out a few months ago. Really cool. So I was excited to see what this would turn out to be, and yeah, this one was sick too. I love this one. I think the two of them are a great pair. I'd love to see them collaborate again. I think they'd be sick. It's really, really cool. Imagination is another cool one. I think that one is also color based. There's a couple ones on here that are, but I think no, Choice I think is one, but color based I think is Imagination. I think Imagination's color based. So, but yeah, they're all pretty good. Those are cool. The songs are well made. Everything in this album is well made. Production's good. You know, nothing really just sounds weird except for Point Up. I mean, not Point Up, Royal Mob. That's the one. That one's kind of you know, some of the stuff's a little loud, but I think for the most part, the production is pretty good on this thing. I think every song just sounds really good. So last three, Rip with Jantine, another pretty good melodic song. Big Noodle Energy, a fun little heavy cut to end off the album. Then with Sorry, which was the first single that came out. And I think this is also one of my favorite songs because I remember when it first dropped, I thought it was one of those like dudes that like, you've probably seen them, like guys that haven't released music in forever, like Crimer and Far Too Loud it's happened to, where like somebody will put a song on their Spotify that's not theirs. I thought that initially because Spag Heddy hadn't released anything in forever, and when I saw it was actually him, I was like, wow. And then I listened to it, and yeah, I was like, you know what? I guess he's back, and it was really good. I love that one. It's the classic Spag Heddy style everyone loves, so I knew that one was gonna be good. So very cool way to end the album, and I think the whole thing is itself, like the track list itself, is pretty good. So overall, I do think this was a great first start for Spag Heddy, like as an album. I do think that it's not as like a big story kind of thing, like, you know, it's not like a story where it goes through different stuff. I think it's more just like all of his songs he had written up until this point, he just put them together in a collection, but I think it works well. I think for the most part there's something here for everybody, and that's what he said on Twitter, like his manager too. There's something here for everybody. If you really like color bass, if you like melodic cuts, there's that. If you're like me and you love the heavy stuff, there's some of that. It's a nice little mix of both, you know, and I think that's good instead of just all melodic or all heavy. If it was all heavy, it would be cool for the first 5 songs and then get a little tiring. So I think that the fact that there's a bit of a mix in there is really cool. So everything in here is very well made, and to be honest, I'm really excited for the future for Spag Heddy because like I said, last year 2022 wasn't the best year. He did a Spaghetti Slap, which was fun, and then a couple of free songs on his SoundCloud, and then he did a couple songs with Monster Cat that I didn't think were, you know, very impressive, but this album is definitely a great return, and I think everybody will find something they like here. It's a great album, very cool, well produced, and yeah, I think if I had to pick a few of my favorites, Bang Ski's one of them, Hammer Time I mentioned, Royal Mob I think is pretty interesting. If it was produced a little bit better, maybe I would like it more, and then Point Up, and then of course Sorry. So those are a few of the ones I really liked, but I think everyone will find something they enjoy here. It's great. Definitely give it a listen if you haven't already. It's really cool, and let me know what you thought in the description or the comments. Let me know what your favorite track is from here. There's quite a few. There's 17 in total. I didn't mention that before. There's 17 tracks, so quite long, but you know what? They're not all like really long. They're all like around 2 to 3 minutes. So let me know what's your favorite track from here, and let me know what you thought overall. Did you think this was good? Did you think the album was, you know, underwhelming? Was it worth the wait? Let me know. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Peace.